Some believe that life and death are the ultimate boundaries of existence, mysterious, absolute, and beyond control. Yet to those who truly walk the path of cultivation, life and death are nothing more than fleeting phenomena, ripples on the surface of a far deeper current. That current is karma. Karma has no beginning, no end. It weaves through past and present, binds cause to effect, and silently determines every encounter, every loss, and every reunion. One thought planted long ago may bloom centuries later. One action forgotten by the world may return as destiny's blade. In this vast cultivation world, no one is merely passing by. Every meeting is repayment, every separation is settlement, and every struggle is nothing more than karma coming full circle. If you enjoy my way of explaining and storytelling, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep creating. Sun Tai's expression grew complicated as his gaze fell upon Wang Lin. He remained silent for a long while, words refusing to form. Though his cultivation had long since fallen to the soul formation stage, his powers of observation had not completely vanished. Yet no matter how he examined him, he could not see through Wang Lin's cultivation at all. Shock surged through him. In his mind surfaced the image of that weak soul formation cultivator in the celestial realm, the one who had been forced to relinquish control over him, the one who could only stand by helplessly and watch the battle between him and Zhou Yi. To think that the person standing before him now was that same cultivator. It was simply inconceivable. Back then, Wang Lin had indeed been fierce, but his methods were crude, and his cultivation painfully shallow. Had it not been for Zhou Yi's brand, Sun Tai would have crushed him with a single palm. Yet the Wang Lin before him now stood calm and composed. Just a single glance from him was enough to make Sun Tai's origin soul tremble. Such a heaven and earth difference was something Sun Tai found impossible to accept. The Wang Lin of the past had been of lowly status, nothing more than a pawn. Among the ascendant cultivators, no one had regarded him as a threat. But now the moment Wang Lin appeared, he had drawn the full attention of the Ran family's ancestor, so much so that he was even gifted a rank 8 pill. As for Sun Tai himself, he was nothing more than a guest of the Ran family, his former glory, long since faded into dust. He clearly remembered how back then, when Wang Lin had stood at the brink of life and death, it was Wang Lin who had begged him for aid. Had it not been for Sun Tai's intervention, Wang Lin would have perished beneath the hands of the giant demon clan's ancestor. And yet now, the person standing before him possessed a cultivation so profound that it inspired fear. Even more terrifying was the aura Wang Lin exuded. It told Sun Tai unmistakably that Wang Lin had slain cultivators of the same level as himself. To have killed an ascendant cultivator, the thought alone was enough to send a chill through his soul. The violent contrast between past and present caused a storm of emotions to surge within Sun Tai's heart. The changes that had taken place over the past several hundred years were nothing short of earth-shattering. As shock gave way to resignation, the image of that weak cultivator who once looked up at him slowly dissolved. In its place emerged a figure so powerful that Sun Tai no longer dared raise his voice in his presence, nor even meet his gaze directly. Even if he were ordered to serve this man as a servant, he would harbor no resentment. Wang Lin said nothing. From Sun Tai's expression alone, he could roughly discern his state of mind. He merely watched him in silence, his gaze calm and unruffled. Sun Tai finally broke the silence, staring at Wang Lin as he whispered, What cultivation level are you at now?" Wang Lin replied evenly ascendant. Sun Tai let out a bitter smile. He did not believe it. If Wang Lin were merely at the ascendant stage, Sun Tai should have been able to sense anything. Yet from his perspective, even the Ran family's ancestor paled in comparison to this man who had once been so weak. Only now did he truly understand why the Ran family's ancestor had gone to such lengths to gift Wang Lin a rank 8 pill through an auction. "You still haven't answered my question." Wang Lin's voice remained calm as his gaze shifted away from Sun Tai, drifting toward the window. That single sentence caused Sun Tai's body to tremble. A complex bitterness welled up within his heart. The little cultivator from back then had once spoken to him with reverence, yet now, just one sentence was enough to make his soul quake. Sun Tai spoke with difficulty. When I was transferred to the All-Heaven star system, I appeared near planet Dong Lin. I lived there for nearly a century, working for the Liu family. Only after that did I finally regain my freedom. The brand within my body was broken by someone from the Liu family. I never imagined it was still there. Liu family? Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. Sun Tai nodded faintly. The three strongest families on planet Dong Lin are the Shulu and Liu families. Wang Lin pondered briefly before asking, how strong are these three families? And what is special about planet Dong Lin? Extremely strong, Sun Tai replied softly. Their depth is unfathomable. My status was far too low to know their true strength. But I do know this: any one of them could casually send an elder to slaughter planet Ran Yun. As for planet Dong Lin, a trace of fear flickered in Sun Tai's eyes. It is a chaotic, blood-soaked world. Wang Lin noticed that fear and sighed inwardly. The once mighty head elder of the corpse sect on planet Suzaku was gone. Even if Sun Tai recovered his cultivation, he would never climb higher again. His Tao heart had been shattered. A century spent on planet Dong Lin had crushed it completely. Wang Lin suddenly asked, is there a Xiang family on planet Dong Lin? Xiang family? Sun Tai thought for a long time before shaking his head. Not that I know of. Of course, it may simply be that my status was too low to be aware of such secrets. After a brief pause, Wang Lin looked at him and said, you were once the head elder of the corpse sect on planet Suzaku. You should know certain things. What kind of organization is the corpse sect exactly? Sun Tai sighed deeply. Even as the head elder, there were many things I did not know. I only know that the corpse sect was one of the two great sects of the Alliance star system. And by sect, I mean a true sect, one that spans countless planets, not one confined to a single world. These sects possess innumerable powerful cultivators, their influence reaching even into the inner regions of the Cultivation Alliance. It is rumored that the ancestor of the corpse sect holds an extremely high status within the Alliance. That is why the sect has endured for so long. As for the other sect that can rival it, that would be the Four Divine sect. Planet Suzaku is merely a distant branch of it. The first-generation Suzaku was said to have originated from the Four Divine planet, and the Four Divine planet itself is only one branch of the Four Divine sect. Sun Tai smiled faintly. If you think about it that way, you could be considered an outermost disciple of the Four Divine sect. Wang Lin's expression grew solemn. His time as a cultivator had been short, and many secrets of the Alliance star system were unknown to him. Hearing this gave him a deeper, clearer understanding of the world he stood in. After a moment of contemplation, he asked, what is your status within the Ran family? I am nothing more than a guest, Sun Tai replied quietly. I spend my remaining years at the Whole Treasure Pavilion. The Ran family's ancestor only keeps me around because I possess some skill in alchemy and treasure refinement. Depression filled his eyes as he hesitated before adding, You should not have taken that rank 8 pill. It was a trap set by the Ran family's ancestor. 4 years ago, he recounted everything he knew from 4 years past, details that largely matched what Sun Shi had told Wang Lin. By then, dusk had fallen. The sky outside darkened as the sun dipped below the horizon. The fading light bathed Sun Tai in an orange glow, making him appear even older, as though he stood at the twilight of his life. When the sunlight touched his body, a faint aura of death surfaced. It was subtle, but Wang Lin's domain encompassed life and death. He saw through it instantly. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze and said calmly, you don't have much time left. Sun Tai nodded bitterly. Indeed, about 20 years at most. You may go, Wang Lin said, closing his eyes. If I am still on planet Ran Yun in 20 years, I will personally send you off. Sun Tai stood there for a long time before rising. Looking out at the sunset, he spoke softly. Can you promise me one thing? Speak, Wang Lin replied without opening his eyes. When you send me off, take my ashes back to planet Dark Moon in the Alliance star system. There is a mountain there that pierces the heavens. At its foot lies a small village. Please send my ashes back there." Wang Lin sighed, opened his eyes and nodded. A look of gratitude spread across Sun Tai's face. In that moment, he resembled nothing more than a mortal old man, longing to return home after death, unwilling to become a wandering foreign ghost. He took out a bag of holding and placed it down slowly. "These celestial jades. I had been saving them for the day I recovered my cultivation. But after seeing you, I no longer feel the need for them. Inside are also records of my experiences in alchemy and treasure refinement. Take them as thanks for sending this old man home." Sun Tai walked away beneath the setting sun, the orange glow stretching his shadow longer and longer as he disappeared into the distance. Wang Lin watched his retreating figure. In his mind, the once all-powerful head elder of the corpse sect, who had battled Zhou Yi and stolen the female corpse slowly, overlapped with the frail silhouette before him. Even as he left, Sun Tai did not ask about the child he had released long ago. Perhaps he had truly let go of everything, wishing only to live out his final 20 years in peace. Giving away the bag of holding was the untying of a knot in his heart. It signified his surrender not only of recovery, but of all lingering unwillingness born from centuries of suffering. Because of Wang Lin, he had fallen to this fate. And because of Wang Lin, the torment in his soul was finally eased. If karma truly existed, then this was it. His final wish was simple: to return to his roots, to be sent back beneath the mountain that pierced the sky, to the village of his birth. As the sun fully set, Wang Lin closed his eyes. Life and death, karmic cause and karmic effect, separated by but a single thought, like yin and yang, like truth and illusion. This was the way of the world. Karma is the path that follows the domain of life and death. Wang Lin murmured inwardly. It is the root of life and death itself. Because there is a karmic cause of life, there is a karmic effect of life. A trace of enlightenment surfaced within him, yet it remained distant, as though he could see it clearly, but could not yet reach out and grasp it. Some say that life and death are the most unpredictable things in the world. Mortals never know when death will arrive. It hangs above them like an unseen blade, its edge trembling, filling the depths of their souls with fear. Yet what they do not know is that life and death are merely fragments of something far greater. Trace them back to their source, and one would discover that they are nothing more than manifestations of karma. No one can escape yesterday's karmic cause, nor today's karmic effect. Just like Liu Mei, at this moment she sat cross-legged within a quiet room on Planet 1000 Illusion. Her fingers brushed lightly against her bag of holding as her gaze lingered on the unfamiliar scenery beyond the window. Instead of unease, a quiet resolve settled within her heart. It was as though loneliness could not take root so long as the object inside her bag of holding remained with her. She gently stroked the bag. A fleeting trace of pain surfaced on Liu Mei's face, only to be swiftly buried beneath indifference. From within the bag of holding, faint ripples spread outward as though something inside had stirred. Sensing the fluctuation, Liu Mei bit her fingertip. A drop of fresh blood welled up, and she flicked it into the bag of holding. Slowly the ripples faded away. Liu Mei let out a soft sigh. The treasure I prepared for him is now useless. A major event was unfolding on Planet 1000 Illusion. An ancestor who had vanished thousands of years ago had returned, bringing with him a disciple of astonishing talent. 3 months from now, a bloodline ritual would be held to elevate this disciple, allowing her to become a core member of the Huan family. The news spread like a violent storm, sweeping across every planet connected to Planet 1000 Illusion. Planet Ran Yun was one such subordinate world. After Sun Tai departed, Wang Lin quietly cultivated within his room. Inside the bag Sun Tai had left behind were over 50,000 celestial jades, the absolute limit of what Sun Tai could have amassed. Adding this to his previous reserves, Wang Lin now possessed just under 300,000 celestial jades. His eyes gleamed as he murmured, "It should barely be enough." He rose to his feet and vanished. When he reappeared, he was more than 50,000 kilometers away from the residence. His divine sense swept the surroundings before he slapped his bag of holding, sending countless celestial jades flying out. Wang Lin sat down in the lotus position, his hands forming intricate seals as restrictions spread outward one after another. After dozens of restrictions were set, the celestial jades descended in sequence, assembling into an enormous formation. This formation had no name. It was something Wang Lin had derived from the third ability of his underworld river, a formation capable of consuming vast quantities of celestial jades and using their explosive force to forcibly elevate his cultivation. As more than 300,000 celestial jades settled into place, Wang Lin slapped his bag once more. The seven-star sword formation flew out, hovering around him as a protective barrier. From his shadow, the celestial guard emerged and dissolved into nothingness. Should anyone dare disturb him, the celestial guard would slaughter without hesitation. Taking a deep breath, Wang Lin closed his eyes. His hands formed a final seal and rested upon his knees. Shatter. His voice became a spell rolling outward like thunder. Instantly, the surrounding celestial jades exploded into dust. In that moment, it was as though the heavens and earth were swallowed by a storm of shimmering fragments. An unimaginable surge of celestial spiritual energy erupted. The force was terrifying. It coalesced into a colossal tornado of celestial spiritual energy, with Wang Lin at its core, roaring skyward. Violent ripples spread across the land, thunder rumbling through the world. As more celestial jades shattered, the tornado grew increasingly ferocious, fueled endlessly by their released energy. It felt as though it might tear free from planet Ran Yun itself. Only 3 individuals on planet Ran Yun clearly sensed this overwhelming storm. The first was Sun Shi, who was closest. He was cultivating when his eyes snapped open, shock flooding his expression. The second was a middle-aged man hidden deep within a glacier on the far side of the planet. Encased in eternal ice, he was absorbing frigid energy when the celestial storm erupted. His eyes opened, cold light flashing within them as he gazed toward the source. A warning. After a brief hesitation, he ignored it. The third was at the very heart of planet Ran Yun, the Ran family's ancestral home. Within the ancestral hall, an elderly man with snow-white hair listened as a clan member reported the auction's outcome. Upon hearing that the rank 8 pill had been sold for a single celestial jade, he snorted coldly, displeasure filling his eyes. Just as he was about to speak, he sensed the eruption of celestial spiritual energy. His expression darkened as he rose abruptly, staring toward the distant storm. After a long silence, he muttered, "What exactly does he mean by this?" Within the tornado, Wang Lin's hands formed a seal. He suddenly opened his eyes. Absorb. The word thundered forth, powerful enough to shatter the heavens. Wang Lin opened his mouth, and the massive tornado was violently drawn toward him. A faint underworld river appeared around his body, revolving and forming an invisible force that compressed the raging storm. The celestial spiritual energy poured into Wang Lin as though he were devouring the heavens themselves. His meridians swelled several-fold as the energy rushed into his origin soul. At this moment, Wang Lin's body was like the tide abyss, and his origin soul a black hole consuming all that entered. The tornado rapidly shrank until it vanished completely. Wang Lin's face flushed slightly, his eyes blazing with light as arcs of lightning crackled across his body. The storm dissipated, and the world returned to calm. Aside from the cloudless sky, it was as though everything that had occurred was nothing more than an illusion. The underworld river faded, leaving no trace behind. Wang Lin stood up, exhaling slowly. His eyes burned like torches. I only lack domain enlightenment to reach the mid-stage of Ascendant. But enlightenment cannot be forced. It may come in an instant, or in 10 years, or even 100. A cold glint flashed through his gaze. It seems I can no longer cultivate in peace on planet Ran Yun. Since someone insists on dragging me into this affair, they must show sufficient sincerity. I trust the 3 of them understood my meaning just now. With a sneer, Wang Lin waved his hand. The 7-star sword formation returned to his bag, and the celestial guard sank back into his shadow. As he walked forward, he used greater teleportation. His divine sense spread to envelop the entire planet. Upon locking onto a mid-stage ascendant cultivator, Wang Lin vanished. At the Ran family's ancestral home, the old man's expression changed dramatically. His eyes flared as his body flickered, teleporting 5,000 kilometers away. He formed a seal summoning lightning and hurled it into the void without hesitation. Boom! A thunderbolt tore through the sky. Palm thunder, one of the Ran family ancestors' ascendant techniques. The lightning charged toward empty space. A cold snort echoed, and Wang Lin's figure emerged. He did not move. His shadow flickered. The celestial guard appeared before him, and the palm thunder collapsed instantly. In the same breath, the celestial guard's shadow appeared before the Ran family's ancestor and pushed gently. The old man spat blood as his body was sent flying like a meteor. His face turned deathly pale as he hastily swallowed pill after pill. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. Terror surged within the old man's heart. What cultivation level does he possess? Too terrifying. He spared my life, otherwise I would already be dead. Could he be at the peak of the late ascendant stage? The celestial guard retreated into Wang Lin's shadow. Wang Lin looked at the old man coldly. Was it you who tried to drag me into the affair from 4 years ago? The old man's heart trembled. After a moment, he clenched his teeth. Fellow cultivator, this matter was my fault. I only acted because— I have no interest in your excuses, Wang Lin interrupted calmly. If you want my protection, then show sincerity. What you have offered so far is not enough. The old man inhaled deeply. After weighing countless thoughts, he asked carefully, what does fellow cultivator require? 90% of all your family's celestial jades. The old man hesitated. Wang Lin's gaze shifted. The two of you come out as well. Xianxia and the middle-aged man from the glacier emerged, their faces pale with fear. The sight of the Ran family ancestor nearly losing his life had shaken them to their cores. You, Wang Lin said, pointing at Xianxia, 70% of your family's celestial jades. Xianxia's expression hardened. He nodded without hesitation. Fellow cultivator Shu, I agree. As long as I can step out from the shadow of 4 years ago, this price is acceptable. Wang Lin's gaze then fell upon the man from the glacier. As for you, 90%. And in addition, Wang Lin continued coldly, bring me all remaining pills and the bag of holding belonging to that Huan family member from 4 years ago. Not a single item missing. If this still proves insufficient, then you will obtain more. Should my cultivation lack resources, I will not concern myself with this matter at all. Those are my conditions for protecting you. Wang Lin's voice was calm and indifferent, leaving the three of them with no room for negotiation. His gaze withdrew, no longer resting on any of them. If they agreed, then so be it. If they refused, then he would not entangle himself in this quagmire. The Ran family's ancestor fell into deep thought. The threat posed by the Huan family was far too great. If no one took responsibility for this matter, then the Ran family would face the very real danger of annihilation. He clenched his teeth and spoke decisively. Fine. With that, he turned his head and fixed his gaze upon the middle-aged man encased in the glacier. Xianxia also looked toward the man, a strange light flickering in his eyes. The Ran family's ancestor spoke coldly, Brother Zhao, the three of us all took part back then. Do you intend to walk away alone? The middle-aged man remained silent for a moment. Then he let out a bitter smile. I agree. After a pause, he took out a bag of holding, removed a portion of celestial jades, and tossed it toward Wang Lin. His voice carried deep resentment. My family is not large. These celestial jades are the result of countless years of painstaking accumulation. The Ran family's ancestor and Xianxia also handed over their celestial jades. Such items were precious consumables. Cultivators habitually carried them close at hand. As for the belongings of the Huan family member, the three handed them over without the slightest hesitation. To them, these items were not treasures at all, but shackles, burdens that had weighed upon their hearts for 4 long years. After collecting everything, Wang Lin turned around and vanished. leaving behind only a single sentence drifting in the wind. If nothing important arises, do not disturb me. If the Huan family appears, I will act personally. After he departed, the three stood in silence. Sun Xi, harboring other thoughts, appeared the most relaxed. He clasped his hands together and smiled. Two fellow cultivators, I still have pressing matters to attend to. I'll take my leave. The middle-aged man sighed. I must also return home and prepare more celestial jades should fellow cultivator Shu require them. The two departed in opposite directions, streaks of crimson light splitting the sky. The Ran family's ancestor remained alone, standing there for a long time. At last he let out a deep breath and gazed into the distance. Going broke to avoid calamity, he murmured. The matter from 4 years ago will now rest on Shu Mu's shoulders. If he survives, we survive. His eyes narrowed slightly. Though he does not seem like one who breaks his word, I must still ensure secretly that he does not leave planet Ran Yun. At the same time, in the southern region of planet Thousand Illusion, within the Huan family's ancestral grounds, Huan Fenshen stood respectfully beside an elderly man. The old man was thin and gaunt, the very same ancestor who had brought Liu Mei back from the Alliance star system. His voice was cold. If that man disappeared 4 years ago, why is the matter only being addressed now? Huan Fenshen replied cautiously, Ancestor, that man belonged only to a branch family. His talent was decent, allowing him to reach the mid-stage of Ascendant and be assigned foreign duties. The Huan family is vast. Aside from direct disciples, it is impossible to track every branch member, even if one vanishes. The ancestor frowned. No one stronger. Huan Fenshen lowered his voice. The time you allotted was too short. If given 3 more months, I could find someone more suitable. At present, it is impossible. The old man pondered briefly before speaking decisively. Very well, I'll give you 3 more months. Huan Fenshen hesitated, then asked, What about the family member who vanished 4 years ago? The ancestor's eyes turned icy. Since we are now aware of this matter, dispatch the guard assigned to Huan Mei. Exterminate all involved parties. We must display the might of the Huan family. Huan Fenshen nodded and withdrew. Once outside, a trace of darkness flickered in his eyes. The ancestor truly is growing old. He is willing to perform a bloodline ritual for an outsider and even allows Huan Mei to display the family's might. His lips curled faintly. Does he intend for her to lead the Huan family? 3 days later, inside her residence, Liu Mei gazed up at the sky and spoke softly. Planet Ran Yun. Since adoptive father wishes to resolve this matter through force, she lowered her eyes. Kando, you will go. Yes, a figure emerged from Liu Mei's shadow. The man was about 30, strikingly handsome. He knelt on one knee, lifting his head to look at her back, fanatic devotion burning in his eyes. Liu Mei turned around, her voice gentle. Your cultivation has reached the peak of the mid-stage ascendant. There should be no issues. Though this matter is trivial, it is my first task on behalf of the Huan family. It must be resolved swiftly. Do you understand? Lady, rest assured, Han Dong said fervently. I will not betray your trust. The fanatic light in his eyes intensified. The first time he had seen Liu Mei, he had believed her to be a being descended from the heavens. The strongest cultivator on planet Ran Yun is the Ran family's ancestor, mid-stage ascendant, same as me. Even if his courage were multiplied 100-fold, he would not dare resist. This mission will not cause Lady to lose face. Liu Mei smiled. It was an exquisitely beautiful smile. Huan Dong froze, momentarily stunned. His fanaticism deepened into obsession. After teleporting away, Wang Lin returned to Sun Family City. Instead of going straight back, he walked through the streets pondering his domain comprehension. His life and death domain had already fused with his origin soul. His origin soul itself was the manifestation of that comprehension. Beyond life and death, perhaps lies karma. He frowned slightly. The Tao of karma is too vast. When I entered Ascendant, I gained enlightenment and created the underworld river. But that is only death. He looked at the bustling streets around him. Then where is life? Lost in thought, Wang Lin soon reached the northern part of the city. Upon seeing the young woman seated beneath the rock, he smiled faintly. Her heart is kind. Such cultivators are rare. The young woman sensed his presence and opened her eyes. Upon seeing Wang Lin, she gasped, weren't you captured?" Wang Lin smiled lightly. He asked me a few questions and let me go. She looked puzzled but did not probe further. Everyone had secrets. Questions were meaningless if one did not wish to answer. "You should focus on cultivating," she said earnestly. "Your cultivation hasn't improved since last time. Remember what I told you, diligence can make up for lack of talent." Wang Lin nodded. "Work hard as well. Strive for soul formation." "Soul formation?" She shook her head. "The elders say that no matter how diligent one is without comprehension of the heavens, soul formation remains unreachable, a half-divine realm beyond grasp. I'd be satisfied reaching peak nascent soul in this lifetime." Wang Lin smiled gently, sunlight falling behind him as though warmth clung to that smile. "If you maintain your current mindset, you will reach soul formation." She laughed softly, thinking he was merely comforting her. "Fine. If that day comes, I'll remember your words. Now go cultivate." Wang Lin nodded and departed. Left alone, she murmured, "Can I really reach soul formation?" Back in his room, Wang Lin sat in meditation. His body brimmed with celestial spiritual energy, yet without domain evolution, further absorption was meaningless. After a moment, he took out the belongings left behind by the Huan family member. Inside the bag were clothes and trivial items. What truly drew Wang Lin's attention, aside from the rank 8 pills, were 2 magical treasures, a jade slip, and a token. The treasures bore no divine sense. Instead, they carried faint traces of lingering resentment from the deceased Huan cultivator. Clearly, the Ran ancestor and the others had not dared leave their marks behind. The first treasure was a black comb with 19 teeth, radiating a bloody aura. The moment Wang Lin held it, ferocity surged forth. An attack-type pseudo-celestial treasure, with an embedded formation. Its power is far from simple. His gaze shifted to the second treasure. 2 crimson metal flints floated above his palm, heat radiating from them. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He struck them together. A spark flared and a wave of scorching heat spread outward. A naturally formed magical treasure. Wang Lin inhaled sharply. Most treasures were refined by cultivators. Naturally formed ones were exceedingly rare, rarer even than inheritance treasures. This knowledge came from the ancient gods' memories. To an ancient god, such items were merely refining materials. Flint was one such material metal element by nature imbued with mysterious properties. When struck together, it produced sparks capable of igniting golden flames. These were not mortal fire-starting tools. They birthed a golden fire akin to the Yang fire, once wielded by the Sky Demon country's chief steward. Such a treasure could be used directly, and its power was anything but weak. That's all for today's content. See you in the next part. Support me by becoming a member. It will give me more motivation. Thank you so much.